Hello. This is my announcement for my run for presidency. So, just a little bit about myself. I'm a rising senior. I am a financial planning major, and I am also a minor in the trust management program here. I'd like to consider my strengths to be communication, planning and scheduling. I really worked on those throughout the course of this past year and just my time here with RSA, because those coming into colleges were some of my biggest weaknesses, and that's really not going to fly in the professional world, in any sort of world, so that's something that I've worked and strived to change. Some fun facts about me: I'm a huge music nerd, love music. My favorite genres currently are R&B and rock, alternative. I listen to everything, but those two the most. I taught myself how to play 3 instruments: the guitar, piano, and ukulele. And mint chocolate chips, the best ice cream, no discussion. So, yeah. So these are just some of the expectations, constitutionally, for what the president needs to do. And really, I just wanted to put these up here to sort of just showcase that this is sort of what I see myself doing. I want to serve the community here in the best way that I can. I feel as though throughout the past few years here, I've really come to know the organization, just the campus itself, and I want to do my best to be able to serve in the role that I think I can accomplish. I want to be able to help out in sort of every single aspect, and the president was really the role that I saw as the one that would allow me to do that, and so that's kind of why I wanted to run for this. And so these are just some of my experiences. I was CC's community councils don't exist anymore, but when I lived in Harrington my freshman year, I was the treasurer there. And then throughout my sophomore and junior year, I moved on to becoming the treasurer of the whole RSA organization. And I'd say that with those experiences, the things that I've learned are really transcend beyond just managing a budget. It's really the relationships that students have with Res Life, each other, and just the community councils, just how the sense of community here needs to be built and how important it is when it is built, and seeing people have fun, hearing the comments of people enjoying meeting friends and forming relationships and bonds on campus. It's really something that I treasure, and I hope to be able to help others come to experience as well, through just programs and events here on campus. And yeah. And so my goals, I have 3 main things that I wanted to do as president. The first one is obviously to become a resource for the community. This is a big role, and something I want to do is use that role in its adequate scale to help out and just improve life on campus for as many students as I can. The second one is I want to better understand and implement the organization's missions and values. RSA has been a long history here at the university, and with that comes a origin of just service and dedication to the students here, and I want to be able to better dedicate myself to that and put that out there for the university to see and to understand. And the last thing, of course, is the mission of this organization as a whole, which is to make this campus feel like a home away from home. And that's the biggest thing, because this is what it became to me, and I want to help it become that to other people. And yeah, so this is just a little quote I have. So I find that in this role, I know starting right now, I'm not a perfect choice, but I hope to learn alongside everyone else and to become the best president that I can be for this organization. I find that when it comes to learning, that's also how we better further ourselves as leaders, and I have done a lot of learning, and I'm hoping to implement that and also learn at the same time as well. So yeah, and yeah, so thank you. Vote for me for president. It's very nice. I yield the rest of my time.
Awesome. So I will put up the 10-minute timer, and it starts with the raise of the first hand for a question.
My amazing presenter. Thank you, Rockland.
Is there anything that I know that you went through your entire presentation, but is there anything else that you'd like to talk about that maybe wasn't in your presentation, or something you think we should all know?
Okay. So I'd say the main thing would probably be my motivation and reasoning for this role. You know, I've been with RSA for a long time, and just over the course of that time, I've really just seen the impact of this organization. It's just being able to have with talking with students who come to events, being able to help change things, have actual tangible change, dining surveys, like conversations with the like officials and here in administration at the University of Delaware. It's just knowing that there's an opportunity to create like real sustainable and tangible change on campus in a positive way was definitely a large reason behind like why I wanted to run for this. Sierra?
Are there any new changes or anything that you're looking to bring into the president role?
So into the president role, I would say that the largest change that I would hope to do would be, I want to try and expand just the outreach in terms of RSA's programming skills, like try and implement a bit more of a, what's the best way to put it, collaborative role with other RSOs, and just try and add in a sort of like addition to where you interact with more of the different organizations around campus to sort of help work together to create that sort of campus community feel, because there are a lot of smaller sub-communities around campus, and if you can reach out and connect with them, it's a great way to just sort of bring everybody together and have things like that. And you know,
How do you plan to take your experience as the director of finance into the president role?
so I would say that those experiences would be really a large part of just the communication aspect of it, in terms of like having to interact with a lot of different people, like interconnect a lot of different communication chains together, because a lot of people need help to get to certain desirables, and you know, being the middleman was something that I had experience with, so I got to not only network but also, I guess, better my communication skills in a way. And I'd say another aspect would definitely be the organizational and planning aspect of being a director of finance. You have to have a very analytical thought process, a very step and plan oriented thought process, and that's really helped me with overcoming scenarios and just issues that I might face. So I'd say that it's really helped me have a very objective and just coherent like problem solving process. I think that would be a great fit to help me succeed as president. Yep.
So you were talking about how you would help connect with other RSOs. I was just curious about how you hope to connect with like subgroups that are part of RSA, like CAB. How do you think you can establish a better connection?
So I think a great way to establish a better connection between just like the CABs and the executive working organization more itself would be to probably implement a more like weekly or bi-weekly sort of like a coffee chat. You know, I have inspiration from a certain city man himself, but things of where we can meet together somewhere in just a location, just have like an hour or so to just talk about your week, any progress, anything for your CAB, or just any progress in like life in general. And those times are really where if you come out, you'll just be able to get to know each other a little bit and build those like connections naturally over time. Abby?
Yeah, what is something that you feel is maybe lacking in the way that RSA currently executes its operations, just having served on the board in the past, as you mentioned, that you think would be something good to tackle should you be selected?
I would say the largest issue I've noticed would most likely be sometimes there seems to be a sort of disconnect in terms of like scheduling when it comes to like RSA timed events versus like general student body. I know you can't please everybody, but there are occasionally times where I feel as though there might be better periods to plan for events to like reach out to a larger demographic than certain times. So I'd say probably trying to better connect the like organization with just a general like life and feel of campus, maybe come up with a sort of like feedback or just sort of like anonymous chat system so that like we can just get a bit more of like a feel for like what people want on campus essentially, you know?
If there's no more questions, I'll take a motion to end Q&A.
I motion to end Q&A.
Can I get a second?
Second.
So now we move on to the discussion